Now, viewers, starting with the top focus this hour, one Indian seafarer has been killed and 10 others were also injured after two UAE tankers were hit in the Strait of Hormuz. This was as the US resumed its maritime blockade of Iranian ports and launched a third consecutive night of strikes on Iran, sharply escalating tensions across the Gulf. Rohan Kumar, a 31-year-old seafarer from Bihar's Gopalganj, was killed in the strike. India has strongly condemned the attacks. The Ministry of External Affairs said India's position and post in the UAE were in touch with the local authorities to ensure all possible assistance to the affected seafarers. Let's now take a look at the attacks on the Indian seafarers and who among them have been killed. Starting with what happened on the 18th of April, Jag Arnav, this tanker, was fired upon by Iranian IRGC gunboats. Then 18th of April, Sanmar Herald was fired upon by IRGC gunboats once again. 14th of June, Palau tanker MT Settle Bello with 24 Indian sailors was hit by a US strike. 3 Indian sailors were killed here. Then 13th of July, again Mombasa and Al Bahia, UAE tankers, 30 Indian seafarers in total, both carried 30 Indian seafarers each. This was struck. Then Dikshit Amritlal Solanki, who was working as an oiler on board the vessel, had joined the ship on December 10, serving 80 days. He was killed. Ashish Kumar served as captain of the Palau flagged oil tanker Skylight. He was killed when the vessel was struck off Oman's Musandam Peninsula. Dalip Singh was killed alongside Captain Ashish Kumar in the March 1 strike, and he was crew member on board the same tanker Skylight. He was from Rajasthan. Now, we've seen Hiram Karmarkar, marine engineer from Pune, 30 years of age. Again, he was aboard the Cyprus flagged container ship GFS Galaxy, and it was attacked by the IRGC. We've lost this marine engineer. Rohan Kumar, resident of Videshi Tola, Thaure. He was Gopalganj district resident and was working as a marine engineer for a UAE state-owned energy firm. We have lost so far 5 Indian men in these strikes and in the war between US and Iran, particularly by the attacks on the vessels plying through the route. Ambassador KP Fabia is joining us on this. Ambassador Fabia, you've been calling for how India needs to do more than just summon the diplomats and the officials, how India should probably mull a humanitarian mission to the Strait of Hormuz. How far are we from doing that? Now, India has issued and asked for an inventory of all those sailors on board vessels plying through the Oman Strait, through the Strait of Hormuz, and keep a directory of that. But is that going to be enough?
Good afternoon. What the Ministry of Shipping has now done, that is establishing what is called a dashboard, which is, we all appreciate that, though we should add that it could have been and it should have been done much earlier. Now, coming to the point you made about attack by IRGC on ships causing death to the sailors, including Indians, I think what we have to tell Iran is that, America shot into the engine room and killed. Now, why is Iran doing that the same way? Because the intention is to tell the captain of the ship, don't proceed further, you proceed in a different direction. So the international protocol is that you first tell them in English or whatever other language which is necessary. No more than once. And then you shoot in the air. Then you shoot in the water but close to the ship. And even if you have to shoot on the ship, you shoot in such a way, not into the engine room, not in a manner to kill anyone. You know what I mean? That is absolutely against international protocol. And then, of course, the master will obey you if you take these steps in the right order. So Iranians should not behave the cruel way the Americans did. Why are they taking a lesson from the Americans? And let me also say that uppermost in my mind is our deep condolences to the bereaved family, because they were yearning members of the family. They couldn't find a job here. And as I had said earlier, there are 360,000 Indians working as sailors, out of which 180,000 are active anytime. So the dashboard is good, but something more than that, as we have already mentioned, a proper humanitarian mission to the Strait of Hormuz is necessary.
But really, what can be done, Ambassador, to prevent the loss of lives? Because these are not Indian vessels or tankers that are being struck from either the US or Iran, but Indian lives are being lost.
Yeah, that is because, nobody is sort of, I wouldn't say that America shot knowing that it is Indian sailors. No,
yes.
That doesn't happen. It happens with Indian sailors because, as I said, 1/6 of the world global sailors are Indians, So, but as I said, the protocols should be followed and not just, shoot in a manner which results in killing. I've told the intention is to divert the direction of the ship. Well, that, if they want to do it, let them do that. But this is not the way. And this should be impressed upon Iran again and again. And, as I said, the humanitarian mission should be sent.
Right, Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us and speaking to us on this. And now, viewers, let's move on.